Victory Monday, Jacksonville Jaguars fans. Welcome in to Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for being here Monday, November 17th. And what a glorious Victory Monday it is for your Jacksonville Jaguars after taking down the Chargers 35-6 in Jacksonville. We're going to get into my top takeaways from this one. Obviously not in the home studio, still visiting family out here in Kansas City. We'll be returning back to Jacksonville tomorrow. So Wednesday, we'll be back to kind of like regularly scheduled programming. But we've done a good job getting this content out and being able to analyze these football games and having a good time doing it. So when I look at this Jacksonville Jaguars game, I mean, there was so much to get excited about. 35-6, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that in the NFL. And by the way, Victory Monday sale on GenJag.com. Everything is 35% off to celebrate that victory with code Duval. That's Duval with 3 U's, DUUUVAL, GenJag.com. That'll be live by the time we get this video up. Top takeaways from this win. You don't play passive pass coverage. Pass coverage is not passive. You saw Buster Brown making plays when he was up closer to the line of scrimmage. You saw other guys making plays when they're not lined up 8-10 yards off the line. And, 10 yards might be a bit of an exaggeration. Might not be, but absolutely. If you get these guys in positions to be able to play aggressive and make plays on the ball, they can do that. They have the talent to do that. Buster Brown, Greg Newsome goes down with an injury. You have Christian Braswell out there doing well. The safeties actually did a heck of a job in this game, which I don't know if you can sit here and feel that that's going to continue to be the case week in and week out with Antonio Johnson and Dewey Wingard, but you are going to get Eric Murray back at some point, hopefully. Don't know exactly the timeline on that one yet. And that could really help. And you hope Greg Newsome doesn't have to miss any extensive time. We'll get some injury updates maybe today, but more likely on Wednesday. And, to me, you can, and this is my opinion, you can talk about the pass rush getting going. You can talk about all sorts of different parts of this game, but the biggest area of improvement, again, was the alignment of the cornerbacks, and that giving them the ability to actually make plays on the football. And they're not always going to be up on the line, but if you're 3 to 5 yards off instead of 7 to 9 yards off, that puts you in a better position to be able to make a play on the ball. I know y'all are enjoying the posters over my shoulder here in our cousin's room, but that to me was the biggest thing, the biggest cause, right, of this win, of the defense stepping up and playing better football against a talented offense, right? Very talented offense. And yes, Josh Hines-Allen, franchise sack record, stepped up. Trayvon Walker stepped up. Other guys on the defensive front stepped up. In my opinion, they were given the ability to do so because of, again, not being passive in pass coverage. Pass coverage does not have to be passive. Anthony Campanile, shout out to you for getting the job done there and everybody on that defensive side of the ball. Again, if y'all enjoy the content here, please like and subscribe. So switching sides of the ball for a moment, Jakobi Meyers has to be the Jaguars' top receiving target the rest of the year. And no, I'm not burying the lead. The Jaguars did go absolutely crazy on the ground. But that's something, quite frankly, that does not surprise me very much. The Chargers were not a good run defense coming into this game. They didn't allow a nuclear yards per game on the ground. A lot of that, I think, had to do with game script throughout this year. They've been up a good amount, being a 7-3 team entering this game. But the Jaguars said, we're going to run the ball. We are going to run the ball. We're going to run it, and we're going to run it some more. And the Chargers had been allowing almost 5 yards per carry on the ground this year. The Jags went out, and they committed to the run, and they had over 47 carries, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered. There's a lot of talk about Trevor Lawrence, and we can get to that, of course. But to me, again, I've talked about this numerous times on this channel over the years. The Jaguars franchise is at its best when they're running the ball and being dominant on the ground and committing to the run. Just look at all the best Jaguars teams throughout franchise history. They all ran the damn ball. And the Jaguars did exactly that today. 47 carries, or I say today, yesterday. 47 carries, 192 yards. 4.1 per carry, not amazing, but 192 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence got in on the action with that quarterback draw. Bashal Tutin, such a tough runner in this game. And we've seen that. We've seen that at times before with Bashal. His ability to run through tackles, to get low, to use that leverage and use the strength that is in his frame. He's a shorter guy, but he's got some strength to him. 4.9 yards per carry, 74 yards, a touchdown. Travis Etienne, really the one who was grinding out a lot of tough yards too. 19 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, Trevor Lawrence touchdown. LeQuint Allen was running it too. He had 8 carries. That's a new career high for LeQuint Allen. 8 carries, 36 yards, 4.5 yards per. The Jags, they committed to the run. The running backs did the job. The quarterback did the job in the run game. And the offensive line, specifically Robert Hainsey, Ezra Cleveland, these guys mauling Chargers defenders. You love to see that. And that needs to be the identity of this football team for a lot of reasons. Again, one is the franchise has been at its best when you're running the ball like this. What franchise isn't going to be, right? But that's kind of the calling card of the Jaguars over the last 30 years. Whether it be Fred Taylor, Maurice Jones-Drew, I mean, guys before that, Stewart and Means, and then, getting into some of the more modern times, Jags, Leonard Fournette didn't have a great career here, but he did have a hell of a rookie year that helped the Jaguars get to the AFC title game. And, there's just such a history of running the ball with the Jaguars. You now have Etienne, Tutin, Allen joining the party. Love to see that. So I think the run game is absolutely critical for the Jaguars. It was excellent. They committed to it. Liam Cohen is such a good run game coordinator. And obviously he's the head coach. He has offensive coordinator and all that, but he's the one, this is his run game. He knows how to adjust it to his talent. He knows how to adjust it to the opposing defense. He did an incredible job in that regard against the Chargers. And he needed to because the Chargers did not have a good run defense. Jakobi Meyers, though, sticking with the offense here. Jakobi Meyers, he has got to be the top target the rest of the season. I'm not saying every single game, probably, though, realistically. But, you'll have Brenton Strange back. You'll have Brian Thomas Jr. back. No Travis Hunter, but you'll have some guys that get back out there. But Jakobi Meyers, to me, I said it when they traded for him, the most professional receiver that Trevor Lawrence has ever played with, has ever thrown the football to. That's awesome. That is awesome. And he had the type of performance that wasn't like mind-blowing, but, consistent. Where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, catches the football. Strong hands. Good route runner. Good size. 6 targets, 5 catches, 64 yards. 12.8 per. Getting the job done. And we'll talk about your quarterback in just a minute here. First, got to remind you all about Underdog. Fantasy Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Football season, it's in full swing. Obviously, we're now halfway through, a little over halfway through. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Obviously, tonight, Monday Night Football, you can look at the Raiders, the Cowboys. You can also make team picks now on Underdog, which is pretty cool. Is there going to be an upset in Vegas? You can be the one to decide. And I'm obviously looking at Ashton Genty, one of my guys. Higher than 64.5 rushing yards. He's done it in 3 of his last 4. Cowboys do not have a great run defense. I'm looking at that for sure. Download the app today and sign up with promo code DuvalDaily to score $100 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code DuvalDaily. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and President State where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. So, Jacoby, awesome. Now let's talk about Trevor Lawrence. I get a lot of comments, good quarterbacks, they play consistent football. Look around the league. Look around the league right now, folks. Trevor Lawrence ain't the only quarterback that's struggling with consistency. If you need an example of that, just look across the damn field. What happened to Justin Herbert in this football game? And I'm not talking about getting injured. I'm talking about when he was in this game, when he was healthy. What were the Jaguars able to do against Justin Herbert? Quite a bit. He was only 10 of 18, 80 yards, an interception. The Jags, that defense, a defense that was much maligned, gave Justin Herbert fits. Look across the league. Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, everybody struggles. I'm not putting Trevor Lawrence in the category with those players right now, but you shouldn't be putting him down below where he belongs. He's an above average quarterback right now in this system, and he has the opportunity, the talent, the future to be a lot more than that in this offense. And also, again, look at the receivers. When they get the job done, Trevor Lawrence gets the job done. A workmanlike day with the running game going absolutely nuclear for the Jaguars, going off. And Trevor, interception was horrible. We talked about that. Horrible interception. Missed play on 4th down, 4th and 3 early on. 2 bad plays. After that, the dude played good football. He really did. He played good football for the Jaguars and scored 2 touchdowns in this game. I think he now has 16 touchdowns on the year, total touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns on the year. It's good stuff for Trevor Lawrence, and he's continuing to grow within this offense, and he's had to deal with a lot with new offensive line, pieces moving in and out. Obviously, the run game being what it is super helpful, but then you have all the movement and changes with the receiving core. Kudos to Trevor Lawrence for picking himself up off the mat in this game and playing really well. To me, talking about the Jaguars, continuing with these takeaways, if you can play games where you get penalized like 5 times or less, and in this game it was once, you can win a lot of games in this league if you're the Jaguars and you don't beat yourself. Don't beat yourself with missed assignments, with dropped passes, with pre-snap penalties. You can win a lot of damn games. And, the BJ Green penalty that got negated, offsetting penalties, to me, there's nothing I would really change about the way he made that play. But if you can just avoid beating yourself, if you're the Jaguars, you can win a lot of these games. The Jaguars could very easily be 7-3, 8-2. If you talk about not beating yourself. So yeah, that's where they're at there. Continue to run the ball. I think that the Jaguars, when you're looking ahead, what can they lean on? They can lean on running the ball. They can lean on stopping the run, right? They can lean on Jacoby Myers. They can lean on Britton Strange in the pass game. Parker Washington at times, right? Obviously, he battled through a little bit of a hamstring this week, but Tim Patrick, kudos to him, and kudos to several unheralded players making plays for the Jaguars in this game. Johnny Munt, Quentin Morris, Tim Patrick, to name a few. Austin Trammell. Guys that are just stepping up and doing their job, not doing anything else, not having to go above and beyond, but just doing their job within the scheme. I think they can lean on their running the ball. They can lean on Jacoby Myers, Britton Strange, etc. They can lean on the pass rush. Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead, BJ Green, Danny Strigow. When, again, they don't play passive coverage. Pass coverage is not passive. These guys can get home if you give them a second. Give them a couple seconds to get home and they can do it. And realistically, we're talking about like 2.5 to 3 seconds. Let them have 2.5 to 3 seconds and they can get home. That can affect the quarterback in a big way. First complete game of the year. Can you stack complete games? If you can stack complete games, and you don't have to win 35-6 next week, but if you can play a game where you run the ball, you don't beat yourself, you play run defense, and you play more aggressive in coverage closer to the line of scrimmage, I think you can start to feel like you've built momentum. You can play this way moving forward. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to win every game, but you're going to be able to feel confident in the way you're playing ball. That's where I'm at. Team still needs to get healthier. No Anton Harrison, no Britton Strange, no Brian Thomas Jr., no Eric Murray. Greg Newsome goes down. Hopefully he's all right. But if this team gets healthy again, and they do some of these things we just talked about, they can absolutely be very dangerous. Very dangerous. Play a complete game, control the controllables. Cardinals up next, then Tennessee. You get on a run maybe, win 3 in a row, who knows? See what happens. And then you've got the Colts in Jacksonville, who have not won in Jacksonville since 2014, in over a decade. Jaguars, 6-4, in control of their own destiny, both in the division and in the AFC wildcard. They are currently the 7th seed. They have the ability to actually win the division still, but they've got to go on a run. They've got to beat the Colts. They got to beat the Titans in order to do that. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe, and y'all have a good one.